Thirlwall Castle is one of the hidden history sites in Northumberland National Park. It's one of the most important sites that we have. It's a scheduled ancient monument, and it was completely ruinous, in a very, very bad state of repair until the 1990s. The actual castle is really interesting because it's used from Roman stones, traditionally thought to be used by Roman stones, from the nearby fort of Carvoron. So it was rebuilt in the medieval period, around the kind of 13th, 14th centuries, as a tower house. The reasons for having a serious look at Thirlwall is its association with some of the myths and legends, and actually not necessarily wanting to debunk them and what they mean to people, but actually to have a serious investigation to see, is there any truth? And the idea that stones can speak is an idea that, actually looking at the techniques available, can we actually find something out about it? So when you're looking at Thirlwall, it's quite an enigmatic place. It's certainly enigmatic at a certain time of night. And actually, is it something that we can actually look at and investigate?
Right, welcome to Thirlwall Castle. It was apparently built in the 1330s by John de Thirlwall. It is generally thought to be built as a practical fortress, as it is on the main Scottish invasion route. Its very location gave the occupants a vast view of the terrain, where they could easily see an incoming invasion. The sheer width of the walls are indeed impressive, ranging in width from 2.7 metres to 3 metres in places. This led the antiquarian William Hutchinson in the 18th century on his tour of England to regard it as carrying the appearance of a horrid and gloomy dungeon where its ancient tyrants dealt in deeds of darkness.
There's not much in the way of legends and folklore associated with Thirlwall Castle. Mostly it seems to revolve around apparently the ghost of a dwarf, which is guarding a hidden treasure. The treasure is talked about as being a gold and jewel encrusted table, which apparently is hidden in a chamber or in a well, depending on the version of the story, somewhere in the castle grounds. Doesn't seem to bear much resemblance to sightings actually at Thirlwall Castle, but it's something to look into.
So previous groups have been here, and there've been reports of people being touched, people hearing whispering voices, hearing music. I think we can put alternative explanations for those other than paranormal ones. Obviously the ruin is open to the elements, so if there's breezes internally, they could easily be interpreted as being your head being touched, or parts of your exposed skin being touched. In terms of whispering voices, that could also be breezes. There's a farmhouse in close proximity here. It's not too much of a stretch to imagine if somebody is in one of the outer rooms talking, that it might carry, especially at night. Same with the reports of music. We heard earlier on some music coming from the farmhouse, and it wasn't particularly loud, so especially again at night, that could easily carry into the ruins of the Thirlwall Castle. Another explanation for being touched, there's quite a lot of evidence that the ruins, the stones within the ruin, are holding in water. So if somebody's standing underneath that, any water that's dripping off that, if you feel it on the back of your neck, it could be interpreted as being touched. Also, you can obviously hear there's a lot of birds, so there is a lot of wildlife around here. At night, especially if you're unfamiliar with any bird calls or wildlife sounds, these could easily be interpreted as being spooky sounds, when they're quite prosaic explanations will do. Initially, we did an initial walk around with the EMF meters internally, and there's no readings. We also used the Frank box. We used this to see if there was any radio signals coming in. Internally, there wasn't anything getting in there. But on the north-northwest external wall and the northwest wall externally, there's radio signals being picked up there, quite numerous. So if anybody's capturing anything on AVP, that's one thing to to bear in mind that there are radio signals coming in. Interestingly, a lot of the stonework within the ruin is sandstone, and one of the theories regarding paranormal activity is the stone tape theory, which is where events are recorded somehow in the physical location in the walls. And some have said that sandstone is particularly conducive to this. Whether it is or not, I'm not too sure. But if there is a place there where you might expect stone tape theory to come into play, it would be somewhere like this. I mean, you can just see a lot of the stone within the ruins is sandstone, so that may be something to think about.
Right, can anybody spot any immediate risks?
Apart from slippy banks now.
Yep.
And a few stones sticking out. That's it.
So looking at potential trip hazard, potential slip hazard. It's all been properly consolidated, so there shouldn't be any falling stone. See, the rain's easing off.
If that's northwest tower, that's the dungeon.
Underneath this, isn't it, basically?
Yeah.
Under here?
Yeah.
That'd be all sorts of.
Do you two want to have a check for droppings then, and go on droppings duty, do a quick sweep of the area? Lee and Sheila, do you want to have a quick look around, see if there's anywhere that looks as though there's anything potentially dangerous overhanging?